We just released our Modal pop-up and I'm very excited to talk about it. I wanted to make a little video because although it's super powerful, some things might get lost. So I wanted to just give a few little explanations of what can be done for it. So first of all, add it like any other section. You just look for it here and you can see it here, and the red backpack will show you that it's the correct one. But I've already added them and set them up a little bit just so that we can try. So first, if you go into it, you want to put it on enabled testing mode just so that we can set it up and have it always open so that we can see it. The way we have it set up is like every other section, we have a ton of blocks. So I've added like an image, a spacer just for spacing, a title, some text, and a countdown timer. So we're going to have underground secret parties that people can sign up for. Just like every other section, you can have a separate heading color, and you can even change the block size or the heading level if you like. Just this is essentially like all of our other design pack section with all of the other options. The one thing that I do really enjoy is having sort of like the overlay background be able to be a gradient. Makes it like a little bit more interesting than just having like a normal gray or white background here. But another thing that you can do, which is super exciting, and this is actually true for many of our design packs too, is you can add app blocks. So that means if you have like say a Klaviyo embed form, all you have to do is add it here and then set it up with your embed form ID like normal. So if we just pop this right in here, and now you can see it just connects to the sign up form from Klaviyo. So now it's like fully integrated. You can take full advantage of using Klaviyo. So now we have this pop-up and it looks great. And there's two ways that you can set up this pop-up. So there's two options. There's the timed appear. You can set up options like how delay until pop-up, so you can have it pop up after your user's been on the site for a bit so that, you know, they get less annoyed maybe with the millions of other pop-ups you have. And then you can set days until pop-up is displayed again after being closed. So the user doesn't get a pop-up every single time they show up, which again might annoy your user into leaving. But the other option, which is a little bit sort of trickier to set up, is the link trigger. So this means that you can just set a link anywhere on the page to trigger the Modal pop-up. So the thing that you need to do is set up an ID. So for this one, I've set up the ID parties. So once you set that up, I'm going to now take away testing mode. So now it doesn't show up. And I'm going to click save. Oftentimes you have to save between each step or it doesn't fully take. And then I have in the product sidebar, I've set up these icons with text, but I want them to actually click and open the modal. So all I have to do is go into the icon with text. And here for the underground parties, instead of just being text, I want to create a link. So I hit link, and then I just use that same ID that I had in the modal, and you just like type it in, and then it'll give you this option to click, and then insert. Now I think you're going to have to save before it actually takes effect. But now you can see this is a link, and when I click on it, the pop-up happens. So now you can you can use this anywhere on your site, really. Anywhere where you can add a link in a button, whatever, you can now have this and you can do whatever you want with it. It's super flexible, just like every other design pack. And you can have any app blocks that are available, like a reviews app block. Klaviyo is probably the most popular one for this type of thing, and set this up. But the other thing that we did is we created it so that you can connect it with a page. So I've added another modal here. So I'll put it in test mode and you can see that nothing's here. But what I have done is I've created a page because I wanted this information to be like a little bit more designed and a little bit more complex. And there's only so much that you can do with the blocks. So a way to add on to this is to create a page. So I created this page here, and now I can just connect the page with the page block. So I go here, select page, connect it to the site, and now I have the page just fully shows up. So now you get to have this more designed look here, like because you can't put sections inside of blocks, so you can get this sort of more complex pop-up. And then same thing, we go back to here, we go down to the product details, we just highlight this, connect it, add the link trigger that we added in the modal, connect it there, insert, again save, we'll take it out of testing mode, and click here, and now we have the product specs right here, and we have the details. So you can literally just have these triggered modals to add extra information, and you can get it right here inside the product spec section with very little issue.